Tonight's Bareknuckle Fighting Championship is back in Kansas, coming to you from the greater Wichita metropolitan area at Hartman Arena in Park City. It's BKFC Fight Night, and we will open with 2 preliminary bouts. Then at the top of the hour, our main card will begin live on the Bareknuckle TV app, which you can download at bkfc.com. In this evening's feature bout, it's Marciano Hernandez versus Raymond Andy Locker at 135 pounds. Tonight's co-main, set for the light heavyweight division, Isaac Doolittle versus Jay Jackson. And our main event, which has all of the ingredients to be the fight of the year, David Rickles versus Julian Lane in the middleweight division. Hey everyone, with Chris Lights Out Lytle, I'm Sean Wheelock. Glad you're with us for our BKFC Fight Night Wichita live preview. 2 prelims coming your way, and then at the top of the hour, our main card will begin. Again, the only way to watch that is on the Bareknuckle TV app. You can download that right now, bkfc.com. Chris, we're counting down to our main event. This truly could be something special tonight. Through MMA, through Bareknuckle, David Rickles and Julian Lane have shown that it's virtually impossible for them to have a boring fight.
And that's a great thing here. That's the kind of fighters we like, and that's what we're getting. 2 guys come to fight every time, and the beauty of this is both these guys are so convinced they're the A side. You know, they both think, I'm the better fighter here. This other guy shouldn't even be fighting me. They truly feel like that. You get that sometimes when people say that. These guys believe it. When you get that, you have a recipe for a great fight.
Tonight's fight odds are presented by betonline.ag.
Now, you can tell here usually the person with the plus by them is the underdog. The minus is a favor. The main event here, it's really not too much of a favor because both guys are very even right there. Both have the minus.
The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live BKFC events, again, including tonight's main card, which begins at the top of the hour. You can also get the full Bareknuckle Fighting Championship archives, as well as additional fight promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's Gamebred FC Bareknuckle MMA. And it's, again, how you can watch our main card, all for just $4.99 per month. Truly the best deal in combat sports, available on all smartphones and on most streaming devices. The Bareknuckle TV app, download it now at bkfc.com. Bout number 1 of the evening at 155 pounds. Our tale of the tape is presented by Fan Time. Johnny Pantoja versus Luke Parsons.
Sean, you can tell by watching the tail of the tape right here, sometimes we have different attributes that are going to help a fighter win the fight. Length, reach, fist size, whatever. Not in this case. Very similar. Both these guys, it's not going to be about physical attributes. It's going to be who's going to be able to come out there and implement their game plan.
Second appearance in BKFC for Luke Parsons. He is dedicating this fight to his wife, Samantha Parsons, and to his sister, Amber Davis. Parsons told us in our fighter meeting, Chris, he now knows after one fight in BKFC that he cannot hesitate. He said, I have to tuck my chin, I have to be aggressive, and I have to let go with my hands.
Absolutely, yeah. Tucking the chin, very important. Learning from his mistakes last time. He feels like he has a new camp. He's really worked on the problems that he fixed from last time. He's really excited for this opportunity.
Parsons said, I cannot move backwards. Forward pressure with accurate punches is my key to victory. I also have to utilize a smart defense. Parsons went on to tell us that he has been training different sequences off of the scratch line. He said, I understand that this is a tough combat sport to get a come from behind win.
Absolutely, but he's also learned he has the advantage now. He's had a fight. His opponent has it. He wants to jump all over him right from the very beginning, and that gives him the best chance of victory when you can overwhelm your opponent and he's not ready for what's about to happen.
Luke Parsons said of his opponent, Johnny Pantoja, he's a big swinger. He can be a wild swinger. I have to be aware of his right hook. I think he is coming for the first round knockout. That's why I have to take the early tempo advantage in this fight.
Well, I love something that he said, too. He said he didn't really watch much footage on his guy. He let his brother do that. His brother's his corner man. All he wants to do is train on what he does and listen to his brother's advice. His brother tells him what to do. His brother studied the fighter, so he's just going to listen to what his corner man tells him, and that's great advice.
Big moment for 40-year-old Luke Parsons.
Well, one thing I really love, too, he talked about doing exactly what he needs. Stepping on the outside foot when you have a right-handed guy versus southpaw. Stepping outside and throwing that straight right down the pipe. That's exactly what needs to be done.
This is the BKFC debut for Johnny Pantoja. He's a veteran of 5 pro MMA bouts. Was a college football player, played safety at Garden City Community College here in the state of Kansas. His playing weight was 205 pounds. His fighting weight tonight, 158.0 pounds. Pantoja teammates, incidentally, at Garden City Community College with the great Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Pantoja said, from playing college football, I really developed excellent footwork. He said, footwork is my key to victory. I don't think we've ever heard that before in BKFC.
We haven't heard it, but sometimes it's actually the truth, and I don't think people realize it. He realizes it, which is very important. I know he hasn't had any fights yet, but he understands certain things that other people don't. He feels like the range is going to be very important. He wants a jab to the 2. Throw that power punch after he's able to land that jab.
Pantoja said of Luke Parsons, I think he's expecting me to start aggressively. I'm going to start aggressively. I'm going to put him on his back foot. Pantoja said, I'm naturally ambidextrous. I'm going to start southpaw. I'll continually switch stances, but I think southpaw against Parsons' orthodox stance is probably best for me.
He wants to be very aggressive. He knows his key really is going to be head movement and volume. He wants to make sure he's not taking punches and overwhelm his opponent with a lot of hard shots.
Pantoja said, I have to respect Parsons' jab. I want to work to the inside, fall back on my pro MMA experience, utilize my clinch, utilize my dirty boxing, big uppercuts in the clinch.
Well, that's some things you learn when you've been boxing since you were 8 years old. Instead, he's been boxing for a long time. I know this isn't boxing, but having that ring feel sometimes helps out.
To get our opening bout of the evening started, we send it to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Hartman Arena, live worldwide on Bareknuckle TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BKFC Fight Night Wichita! We begin our preview portion of tonight's fights, and we start with 5 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division, presented to you by Fan Time. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears black and red. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. His official weight, an even 155 pounds. He steps into the squared circle as a bare-knuckle fighter for the second time. Fighting out of Chino Valley, Arizona, here is Luke Lionheart Parsons. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears black. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. His official weight, an even 158 pounds. Tonight, he makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Wichita, Kansas, here is Johnny Pantoja. And our referee in charge of the action, Nick Behrens.
This and all bouts tonight are scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds and are scored by 3 judges assigned by the Kansas Athletic Commission on the 10-point must system. Real-time open scoring in the state of Kansas, which means the fighters, their corners, and all of you watching live worldwide will know the judges' actual scores after every round. Referee Nick Behrens calling both fighters up to scratch. Round number 1, and it's a rapid-fire start from Johnny Pantoja. He's in the black trunks, black and red trunks for Luke Parsons.
Active clinch, working right there. He's able to let a lot of good punches in there.
Quick separation from referee Nick Behrens, right back to it. Parsons looking for the entry, instead it's Pantoja back to the inside. Wide punches, there's the big left hand that gets through. Parsons covering up the uppercut, lands now to the body with the left hand goes Pantoja.
And Parsons doesn't look like he likes those punches being landed to the body. Really kind of bothered him already, you can tell by the way he's moving.
Parsons trying to settle into this fight, misses with the right cross to the body. On his back foot goes Johnny Pantoja now to his front foot goes Pantoja to the inside with the right hand, counter right hook lands from Luke Parsons.
Good body work being done by Pantoja right now. He's done his homework and he can tell that the body really hurts with no gloves.
Pantoja said his footwork was key to victory. That's excellent footwork. Back to the inside for Pantoja. Big right hands to the body. Almost a reverse collar tie, getting the break for Parsons.
And there's Parsons. You see him holding his side right there. I'm telling you, these body shots are really starting to add up.
Big round number one thus far for Johnny Pantoja. Pantoja again coming forward with the right hand. Huge uppercuts to the body with the right, burying the rib cage of Parsons as Pantoja.
And look at Parsons' face right now. He just has a wince of pain on him right now, holding his rib.
30 seconds remaining, round number one. Again, Pantoja coming forward. More big shots to the body from the half tie plug.
And as soon as you make that wince of pain, as soon as you hold that rib, that is a huge bullseye, a huge target right now for Pantoja.
Parsons missing with the naked right hand, puts his mouthpiece back in after the jab. Pantoja again to the body, and down goes Luke Parsons. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round.
5, 6, 7.
Here's the mandatory 8 from referee Nick Behrens.
You okay to fight? All right. Ready? Go.
Final seconds, round number one. And there is the bell. Big opening round for Johnny Pantoja, recording the knockdown.
Absolutely, but it wasn't just a knockdown there. He destroyed the body of Luke Parsons right here. He continued to land that right hand, and Parsons showed it. This is about not only being able to do this, but have a good poker face. He had a tail right there. He showed that really bothered him, so all that did was put a bullseye right there, a target. Man, Pantoja saw it and continued to land right hands to the body. All right, and here's the view, just continue to throw punches. Parsons just stays there and balls up, really not offered any offense, any coming. There's a little bit of a comeback, but mainly it's just covering up. You cannot let your opponent just stand in front of you and throw punches. And right there's that body that's continually being hit. You can tell it really, and I think that was more just from body work and just an overall volume.
Parsons said, I can't move backwards. Forward pressure with accurate punches is my key to victory. He'll try to implement that in round number two off of scratch. Better start off of the scratch line in round number two for Parsons than he saw in round number one when Pantoja exploded forward. But on cue, here's Pantoja exploding forward again. The right hook to the body drops Luke Parsons.
I don't think Parsons is really going to be able to man much offense right there, and continues to fall down. That body's really hurting.
That is it. Parsons does not beat the 10 count, and the victory in his BKFC debut for Johnny Pantoja.
And Sean, this is once again shows the evolution right there of this sport. It shows how often people are really understanding what body work does. So much, more powerful in this sport with no glove. It digs in. It's like a knife stabbing you, as opposed to, that glove disseminates that punch. Not in this. Luke Parsons can tell you that right now. Oh, look at those killer body shots for just one, but that one did the damage. He's already hurting, and that one just finished him off. Here's Parsons trying to get up. He just can't do it. He can't get up. People don't understand, when you hit to the body, it's not just that it hurts right then. It continues to hurt. It stays hurt for a long time.
Johnny Pantoja told us, Chris, Luke Parsons is expecting aggression. I'm going to deliver. He absolutely delivered aggression, and he delivered phenomenal body punches throughout.
Absolutely. He came forward the entire time just like he said he would, just like everybody expected. And the reason he did that was because it worked, Sean.
Valiant effort from Luke Parsons. You could see him fighting his body, trying to get back to his feet, trying to beat the 10 count from Nick Behrens. He collapsed back to the mat. Phenomenal from Johnny Pantoja, despite the very game effort from Luke Parsons.
Absolutely.
Daddy's all right.
We send it to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Nick Behrens, reaches the count of 10 at 24 seconds into round number 2 for your winner by KO, Johnny Pantoja.
Great fight for Pantoja. Pantoja looked great out there. Very good opening debut for Pantoja. Look forward to seeing him. If he can bring that kind of aggression in and day out, he's going to have a good time and a good career here at BKFC.
Pantoja receiving his winner's medal from the Bareknuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. And in this, his Bareknuckle Fighting Championship debut, Johnny Pantoja delivering forward pressure and thudding accurate body punches. The winner by way of second round knockout, Johnny Pantoja defeats Parsons. The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live BKFC events, including tonight's main card, which begins live at the top of the hour, as well as to the full Bareknuckle Fighting Championship archives. You can also see promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's Gamebred FC Bareknuckle MMA. Plus, you'll get fighter interviews, behind-the-scenes content, the latest news, original programming, and more. And again, a reminder, it is how you watch our main card tonight, starting at the top of the hour. It is all for just $4.99 per month. Truly the best deal in combat sports. Available on all smartphones and on most streaming devices. The Bareknuckle TV app. Download it now at bkfc.com.
There's only one that I want to fight, and that's my man right there, Arnold Adams. And I'm fucking pissed that there's a man walking around that think he whipped my ass. I want my run backs.
A TKO due to physician stoppage.
It's never felt so wrong. And revenge has never felt so sweet. 'Cause I knew that there would come a day. I'm gonna do bad things, do it like it's nothing. Being bad has never felt so good.
I'm gonna let Chicago run all through this
Won't see it coming.
Arnold Adams, every day, that's the one I want back.
Why does he want to be? Because he can't beat me.
Doing a bad, bad thing.
Fight Night New York on November 6th is followed by BKFC 22. Friday night, November 12th, live from Miami with 2 title fights. Tom Schoaf joins us now. He has rapidly become the face of Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. We called you the Ikahisu Minowa for all of you Japanese MMA fans of Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. Warrior spirit, my friend. Back-to-back victories. Tom Schoaf, so good to see you. You're up from your native Oklahoma here in my state of Kansas. 2 weeks ago, another great performance, another win as we were in Billings, Montana.
Yeah, it was really exciting. You know, I was looking forward to being in Billings and making sure that I got another victory. You know, that was what's most important, is keeping my winning streak alive and my hopes and dreams of becoming a champion.
Yeah, that fight right there, Tom, I noticed that guy took a page out of your notebook, maybe, that really worked the body right there. It seems like you've been doing that very well right there. Is that just something you've really been working on a lot lately, or just it looks like it's really starting to work for people? It's working for you.
You know, I think that here in BKFC, you really can't get away with letting any shots go, and you don't have any protection on your hands, you know? So when those knuckles dig into that rib cage, it makes a big difference. And I'm really glad that people are picking up on that advantage in the sport.
Tom, Chris says, and I love this expression, in fighting, you have to be the hammer and the nail. And you always say, Chris, some people are really good hammers, but they're not good nails. You have shown that you can be both because you show that resiliency. That's the warrior spirit I'm talking about. Is that natural to your character? Is that what you've developed through MMA and now in the bare knuckle?
Yeah, I got to be honest, I don't know. I think that's just something that that just comes out through development. I'm used to putting myself in uncomfortable places, and I'm used to I'm used to taking damage in order to get the job done, so to speak. So if I got to come in here and I got to take a few shots and bleed a little bit so that I can come out and put on a show for everybody here, that's what I'm going to do.
Tom, I've noticed it seems like as people continue to develop in this sport, the more fights they get, the better they get. About 5 or 6 fights in, they really look like they jump to a new level. You're at that place. Have you noticed that you're really starting to understand the sport better than most guys?
Absolutely. You know, I feel like I'm really starting to get a better grip on what happens and when in this sport. You know, first coming into it, especially with the MMA background, you don't really know what to expect. You don't really know what the situation holds in front of you. And now that I've been there a handful of times and I've gotten my experience, and I really feel like I can see a lot of things coming. I can see a lot more coming than somebody who, is just making their debut, per se.
Tom, because you've become one of the faces, one of the most popular fighters on the BKFC roster, how has your life changed as a professional fighter over the last 3 years?
You know, it's changed in a lot of ways, but it's always for the better. I made my move down to Oklahoma, and I've been there for about 2 years now. And being with the BKFC and making this my life has made my life better. That's really the only way that I can explain it. This has been a dream come true for me.
Tom, you fought some of the toughest guys we have in BKFC. What do you want next? Because you've won your last couple of fights. You're really looking like you're hitting on all cylinders. What do you want to do next?
I need somebody in the top 5. That's really what it is. I need somebody who can solidify my positioning in the top 5. I need to prove that I deserve to be here with the best of the best in this company at this weight class. If I can go in and get somebody in the top 5 and prove that I belong here, I think the title's right around the corner.
Tommy, great job. Such a pleasure, my friend.
Thank
we'll
you very
see you
much.
again.
Thank you,
Tom
guys.
Schoaf, one of the best fighters on the entire BKFC roster, joining us live here. It is BKFC Fight Night Wichita as the Bareknuckle Fighting Championship ring is back in Kansas. A reminder, coming up at the top of the hour, our main card begins. You can watch it live worldwide on the Bareknuckle TV app. If you have not downloaded the app, you can do so right now at bkfc.com. Chris, we continue to roll. A big night of fighting ahead. One more free view still to come. And again, at the top of the hour, we go to our main card on the Bareknuckle TV app. BKFC Fight Night Wichita, coming to you live worldwide, is presented by Fan Time, Karma Coin, and by 8-Man Strong. Tonight only, you will receive 30% off of all Bareknuckle Fighting Championship merchandise when you use the promo code BKFC Wichita at bareknuckleshop.com. There's a wide array of items, colors, and styles to choose from, and sizes for women, men, and kids. You can place your order now at bareknuckleshop.com. And a reminder, use the promo code BKFC Wichita to receive 30% off of your entire purchase. Our second and final prelim before our main card starts live, top of the hour on the Bareknuckle TV app. You see the numbers presented by betonline.ag. Sean Moffett versus Nick Villar in the featherweight division.
And Sean, the thing that jumps off the page at you right here is a height and reach advantage that Sean Moffett has. 4-inch height advantage, 5.5-inch reach advantage. He's going to want to keep Nick Villar off him. He's going to want to continue to pop that jab, that 1-2. Make every time Nick steps in to try and land that big punch, he's going to want to make him pay and keep him back.
BKFC debut for Nick Villar, but he has one bare-knuckle fight. Also, 4 Muay Thai bouts, all taking place in Thailand. Villar said, despite the Muay Thai background, first and foremost, I am a puncher. I like to come forward and I like to swing big. I'm going to do that in this bout versus Sean Moffett.
Well, not only is he coming in forward, he said he's definitely looking for the knockout. He's not looking to go the full 5 rounds. He's willing to trade to do that, which can be very dangerous in this sport.
Villar said, I cannot let Sean Moffett stay on the outside, utilize his reach advantage. I've got to punch my way to the inside. Villar said, making this an inside fight is absolutely key for me. I also like what Villar told us. He said, I'm ready for 5 rounds, but I'm preparing for just 1 round.
I love that. Definitely like you talked about, once they get inside, work the body, utilize that clinch. He feels like he's going to be the stronger guy in there. He can push his opponent down, wear him down, and look for that knockout. Like he said, he definitely doesn't want to go 5 rounds.
Virtually every fighter in this sport tells us they want the knockout. When we asked Villar, are you willing to take chances to open up and get the fast knockout? He said, absolutely I am.
One thing I know that he said that I really enjoyed was he said he wants to take calculated risks. He wants to get in there, but he doesn't want to be wild. He wants to just do it when it makes sense.
The BKFC and indeed bare-knuckle debut for Sean Moffett. This is also his pro combat sports debut. He has fought 10 times as an AMI and MMA. He wrestled for a very good program here in Kansas, Bethany College at the NAIA level. Moffett said, I'm going to implement my wrestling clinch in bare-knuckle. I feel that I can be heavy on the clinch, the underhooks, the overhooks, the single collar ties really wear down Nick Villar.
Absolutely. He views himself more as a counter striker, Tony. He says he's got to utilize movement in this one. I know we talked about the wrestling. He talked about utilizing that. He is expecting a fast start from his opponent as well.
Villar said, rather Moffett said of Villar, I think he'll start fast, but I think he'll also fade very quickly. When Villar comes in, I've noticed that he leads with his head. I'm ready for that. Constant fades. I want to keep throwing the jab. Also, very tellingly, Moffett said, despite being rough on the inside, on the outside, I want to be a counterpuncher. I do not want to get sucked into a mid-range brawl.
Yeah, great advice. Well, he was very smart about it. He wants to use more like in and out movement, which is very, very pivotal right here. You've got to get in, you've got to get out, especially against a shorter guy. It's not bad to be inside, but you don't want to stay there.
Our second and final prelim. This is our Freeview Bare-Knuckle Fighting Championship from Wichita, Kansas. Coming to you live worldwide. Top of the hour, our main card begins. You can watch it on the Bare-Knuckle TV app. Download it now, BKFC.com. Back we go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Presented to you by BetOnline.ag. Introducing you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears black and white. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. His official weight, 145.4 pounds. He steps into the squared circle for the first time, looking for victory number 1. Fighting out of Hartford, Connecticut. Here is Nick Villar. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears white and gold. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 144.8 pounds. Tonight, he makes his bare-knuckle debut. Fighting out of Wichita, Kansas, here is Sean Moffett. And our referee in charge of the action, Big Dan Mergliata.
That's why Dan Mergliata is great. He notices everything. That was left on top of the canvas. Now we are set. Round number 1. Coming off the scratch line, Nick Villar in the black and white trunks, walking right into that right hand of Sean Moffett in the white and gold trunks, now into the clinch.
And one thing I noticed about Sean Moffett, he's putting that chin wide, right up in the air. He's got to be careful with that. If he gets hit with that, it might be lights out.
This is the wrestling that Sean Moffett wanted to implement. Separation from Dan Mergliata. Right back to it. Stiff jab from Sean Moffett on the outside. Villar ducking his head, trying to get to the inside.
See, look at that chin's wide open right there, just sticking straight up.
Big uppercuts.
Moffett's got to be careful. He's got to tuck that chin down.
More big shots. down goes Nick Villar. Taking the mandatory 8 from Dan Mergliotta, which if he's careful might turn into a 10, and it does. And just like that, the win for Sean Moffett in his pro combat sports debut.
And Sean Moffett just jumped all over him right from the very beginning. Very aggressive right there. Just really didn't give Villar any chance right there. Once he started landing punches, he continued to throw them. Man, Nick Villar is Sean Moffett is extremely fired up right now.
Nick Villar mistimed, and we'll see the count from Dan Mergliotta, and then was arguing with Mergliotta on the stoppage.
Yeah, he did look a little wobbly right there. I'm not sure if his legs were totally underneath him. As a fighter, you want to continue, you want to fight, but if a referee thinks you're going to get knocked out in the next second, he's not going to allow the fight to continue. Here's a low there, just a couple clean shots.
So Mergliotta picks up the count and he starts the count. It's a mandatory 8, but the fighter has 10 seconds to get up. Villar thinks that he's up, but he is not. You see, slight argument with Mergliotta, but that's on Villar. You've got to be up, you've got to be ready.
Well, and did you see the stagger afterwards? He fell into the ropes a little bit. His legs weren't all the way there. That means his head's not there, his balance isn't there.
Very impressive for Sean Moffett. Villar just could not solve the reach, could not solve the jab of the taller, longer, more accurate Moffett. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Big Dan Mergliotta, reaches the count of 10 at 58 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by KO, Sean Moffett.
Very good fight for Sean Moffett right there. Debut, he comes in very aggressive. A few little things he's going to have to work on, keeping that chin tucked in, but that'll come with time. Looked fantastic out there.
Sean Moffett established his outside game, was heavy in the clinch, but ultimately, Chris, there were those long, straight punches. Credit to Nick Villar. He said he was going to take chances. He was aggressive in coming in, but just no answers for those huge shots. That was more of a single collar tie from in his NAIA wrestling days than the half tie plum for Nick Moffett. And then just relentless on those punches from the inside.
Well, Sean, I talk about reach a lot. We talk about that being an advantage, but you have to utilize it. He used it right there. He stayed on the outside when need to and made to where his opponent couldn't reach him. That was a beautiful job by Moffett, utilizing his reach. That's what I mean when he said you have to use it.
The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live BKFC events and the full Bareknuckle Fighting Championship archives, as well as to additional fight promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's Gamebred FC Bareknuckle MMA. Plus, you'll get fighter interviews, behind-the-scenes content, the latest news, original programming, and more. And it is how you watch our main card tonight, which begins at the top of the hour, all for just $4.99 per month. It's the best deal in combat sports, and it's available on all smartphones and on most streaming devices. The Bareknuckle TV app. Download it now at bkfc.com. Again, top of the hour, our main card begins. Chris, our main event, when this was announced, you and I both said, this has a good chance not just to be fight of the night, maybe fight of the year, maybe going into the pantheon of fights such as Sigala versus Starling, such as Lopez Beltran 1, such as Lobov Knight 1, one of the greatest fights in the history of Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. I'm not in the prediction business, I'm not in the hyperbole business, but I really think this will be a great fight, just simply based on styles.
I mean, Sean, you never can really predict when something like that's going to happen, but you kind of can sometimes, you know what I mean? And this is one we think has potential for it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but definitely has the potential for that. These guys don't put on bad fights. They always put on great fights, entertaining fights, and just their confidence level. When you got two guys who are so confident right now, that's what makes a great fight.
David Rickles, Julian Lane, through MMA into Bareknuckle. They're aggressive, they're forward pressure fighters, and they are looked for the knockout victory fighters.
And I've seen both of them get hit and get back up, come off the canvas and do well. So a lot of people don't have that. We talk about that sometimes. We just brought it up, hammer and nail. Sometimes you got to be both. Great fighters are both. these guys are both of those.
Our main event is at 175 pounds. Our co-main at 185 pounds. Two undefeated bare-knuckle fighters. Isaac Doolittle from here in Kansas. He's going to have a lot of support in this Wichita, Kansas crowd versus Jay Jackson. We talk so often about, not just in bare knuckle, really in all combat sports, often it can come down to range. This is a range fight.
Absolutely. I mean, one guy, Jay Jackson, wants to stay on the outside. Doolittle has to be on the inside. There's no two ways about it. He's got to be on the inside. He wants to be pushing his opponent around, utilizing that wrestling, utilizing that strength, getting inside, making a dirty, gritty fight.
It's very rare that we have a BKFC fight with two fighters with no MMA experience. That is in our feature bout. Andy Locker has 6 pro boxing bouts. He's also had 1 bare knuckle fight, that in BKFC. Marciano Hernandez, 2-0 in pro boxing. Very intriguing. Marciano Hernandez, incidentally, is the younger brother of Nico Hernandez, who's 1-0 in BKFC and was the 2016 bronze medalist for the United States in boxing in the Olympic Games. The Hernandezes are a renowned Wichita boxing family. Not often we see boxer versus boxer background in bare knuckle.
Very excited for that. And I think Nico learned this isn't boxing without gloves. It's a little bit different. The sport, I don't think, was quite as easy as he thought it would be. Let's see if his brother can transition over, how he does in this sport.
Incidentally, David Feldman, the man who brought bare knuckle to the modern era, he is the founder, the president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, told me to expect a major announcement on Tuesday regarding a new big signing. I think back to 3 years ago, Chris, there were certainly people such as yourself, such as Joe Diesel Riggs, Joey Beltran, UFC veterans who came to this sport, but it has really opened up. A lot of credit, I think, to Paige Van Zandt, but look at the fighters who are now coming in. It will be interesting to see who David Feldman announces with the next big signing on Tuesday. But it's gone to, where can we get fighters to? How do we say no to this fighter?
Well, and like I said, a lot of fighters you know of, a lot of fighters who've been around who are big names, they really want to do this sport. When I talk to fighters who have been around for a long time, they're very intrigued by it. And I feel like this is what, if you're a true warrior, if you're a true fighter, it's calling your name and you have to come do it.
We are just north of Wichita, Kansas, in the greater Wichita metropolitan area at Hartman Arena, which will be jam-packed tonight for our main card in Park City, Kansas. Our main card is coming your way, again, top of the hour. You're with us worldwide for our free view. The only way to watch our main card is by downloading the Bare Knuckle app. If you have not done so already, do so now. The Bare Knuckle TV app, BKFC.com. And again, you see our main event, David Rickles versus Julian Lane at 175 pounds. Our main card from Wichita, Kansas is coming your way at the top of the hour. Chris and I will see you then. It is BKFC Fight Night Wichita.